Former Virginia governor and presidential candidate Jim Gilmore. Governor, you know, one of the things the president was putting pen to paper on today in this order or announcement was that banks or brokerage houses can't steer you into products that simply for the commission or get more exotic, you know, ventures that unbeknownst to you or that you don't need. That's always in the eye of the beholder. I understand that. I'm not saying financial institutions are crooked or you should automatically assume the worst. But when that goes away and the supposition is that they are being honest and honestly looking after your interests, I don't know. You have to be a little careful, don't you?
Well, you do, but I think that there's almost a consensus in this country that Dodd-Frank needs to go away or at least be dramatically altered. It's really being a burden on the banking system. It's adding enormous costs. Yeah, sure, some of the costs are related to accountability, and I understand that, and there ought to be accountability. But, for example, the community banks are telling me that Dodd-Frank is just breaking them with all the incredible expenses. So I think there has to be a balance on this, and I think Dodd-Frank has got the financial community and business community out of balance.
What do you think, Governor, the likes of Elizabeth Warren, and there have been others, she's just the latest, who says, well, this is an administration that kowtows to Wall Street, that kowtows to corporate fat cats and the like. You know, there's also the view that maybe had the prior administration heard from them and not vilified them, that things might have been different. I don't know where you stand on all of this, but what do you think?
Well, I think that Senator Warren is a bit of an ideologue, and I think that she has a tendency to always go a little to the extreme. I think that cooler heads have to prevail, but the ultimate goal in the United States has to be to spur growth and get more and more activity and business opportunities for people and young people with careers and better jobs and more churning in the economy and movement in the economy. Dodd-Frank puts a lid on that, so I think that we have to just recognize that balance.
You know, Governor, we do know that the administration is putting together a strong response to Iran and this missile test about a week ago, already talking about 25 various sanctions that would target companies and individuals that have direct relationship to this missile technology. Separately, we do know that we have the USS Cole, ironically enough, off the coast of Yemen, not too far from where a Saudi ship was attacked by Iranian-backed rebels. What's going on here?
Well, I think the Iranians have an obligation to provide for some stability in the area. I think that President Obama made his deals not only to stop their nuclear program, but in the hopes that this might open up a better opportunity for cooperation with Iran and a new day. That has not occurred. The Iranians continue to try to be destabilizing. They're adversarial. The firing of the missile was a clear statement that they're going to go their own route, and I think that it's correct for the President and for General Flynn to begin to call a halt to this and say, listen, if you're going to be disruptive and kill people and be against the interests of Western civilization or any civilization, then we have an obligation as Americans to lead and to say that this is wrong and we're going to do something about it. I think that the President and General Flynn are right.
So is this enough? If it ends with, for now, just sanctions, sweeping though they may be, and that doesn't deter their behavior, would you be open to all military options as well?
Well, I don't think anything like that is going to be necessary. But, you know, a lot of that's in the hands of the Iranians. Right now what they're trying to do is to create a dominant situation for themselves. And there are neighbors in the Middle East, some of whom are our allies, who don't think that's such a great thing. This is a very disrupted time, Neil, there's no doubt about it. But the United States' strong leadership may, in fact, inject stability more into the Middle East. I think what happened with President Obama is his pullback and softer approach has, in fact, encouraged bad behavior, particularly by the Iranians.
All right. We'll watch closely. Always good having you, Governor. Thank you very, very much.